No. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to join. Let's get a little water in here. Hello, hello. I'm waving. Yes. All right, so this is Self Care Sunday Live. I'm Carly, the founder of Pollination, right? I am one who's healed from being a 3 pound preemie, having asthma, having acne, having hypothyroidism, and different forms of autoimmune disease, IBS, GERD. Oh my goodness. And then most recently with my eczema healing journey, okay, y'all? And I've been flare free for over a year and a half. I'm still correcting some of the different discoloration with some of the new products that's coming out. Woo, they've done wonders. But anyhow, we're talking about Self-Care Sundays live, right? And each Sunday there is a new topic. And this one today is going to be a multi-part series. Okay. So come on in, get all comfortable. We're talking about your body is smart. You know, listen to it. It knows what it's doing. And so our body is smart. And so sometimes what we have to do, we have to reset and tap into your own smarts. And that's the topic for today. And we won't be on here long, okay, y'all? We're going to kind of hit it and quit it, all right? We're going to do this in multiple parts, you know. And so let's get on into it, all right? So, just to show how our body is smart. So one day, first I'm gonna start with the Sherry story, y'all, okay? So one day I'm walking into the grocery store, right? And I see cherries big and displayed as I'm coming in. I'm like, ooh, cherries, okay, they're back in season. And then it was like my body got all excited and started turning all up, like cherries, 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 cherries. And I'm like, what is going on? Why am I all turned up over some cherries? I'm getting all super excited. In the inside, it's like, you know, the little girl in me is like, oh. And I'm like, what's going on? Why are we all excited about these cherries? And then the little taller in me was like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. Cherry, cherry, cherries. It wouldn't let me walk away. So I knew that if I didn't pick up these cherries, my taller in me was going to have a straight up like fit, you know, it was going to be serious. So I picked these expensive cherries up. Y'all know how cherries cost like $7.99 a half a pound. And I'm like, really? I'm going to pay $16 for these little bitty bag of cherries, just one little pound? But I did it. Okay. And let me tell you, I took those cherries home and I gorged on them in one sitting. And as I was gorging on these cherries, hey, see some more of you coming on in. I'm going to go ahead and wave at you. We're talking about listening to our body. Our body is smart. And so what we have to do many times is reset and tap into your own smarts, right? And I'm telling you the cherry story. And so as I'm flipping out about these cherries, and I was like, my toddler is going to have a fit if I don't get this, okay? And I'm all turned up and excited, and it just wouldn't let me walk back. Pick up these cherries, went home, gorged on these cherries. And let me tell you, almost like halfway through gorging through these cherries, I started noticing my body was like just zapping off like toxins. And this is during my eczema healing journey, okay, y'all? I was in the thick of this challenges, and my eczema story is not linear. It was different segments of it and many different things going on, even deeper than eczema, okay? And so it started zapping off toxins, right? And so what I mean is I could feel the toxins flowing off my body, starting to push off. I could feel sensations like, oh yes, my body was happy. And it was starting to push off and let loose and release these toxins. And how did I know it? The sensations, the feelings, the extra urination. It's like coming off, the water lake going away. My body feeling better, less itchy, less irritated. My skin starting to look better, like immediately, just overnight. And if some things just happening right away as I was gorging on these cherries, it was immediate. And I was like, wow, my body really needed these cherries. And it was communicating to me like, this is what you need. Okay. Buy this, get this. And I listened, even though I was like, I don't want to pay no $16 for these cherries. Okay. And immediately began to get the effect in just one sitting as I was gorging through the cherries. Before I knew it, I had eaten all the cherries within like 2 hours. And I was like, this was ridiculous, right? Usually, cherries like this. But the effect that it had on my body was just magnificent. And I was like, wow, this is when I discovered this really, really, because I like cherry juice. I would have like a really clean cherry juice from time to time and some cherries here and there. But I really discovered the superpowers of cherries. And then realized that it needed to be a part of my journey. And this is why it is uplifted in the Pollination Apothecary Gut Support Tea. Y'all, cherries is in there. So don't sleep on cherries. And getting back to the point that our body is smart. It knows what it needs. And we have to many times tap into it. And that may require some resetting, some changing of so many different mindset and things in our lives, and practicing being present and many other things. But our body is smart. And so we need to tap in and listen to it. I'm going to go ahead and wave at more coming on in. If you have any questions, go ahead and, comment so I can see them and answer them during the live here. And so hopefully that story really helps you to really tap into your own smarts. It wasn't me tapping into something else. Yes, I studied herbalism. Yes, I'm a scientist. Yes, I'm a problem solver. But it was my body communicating to me that I needed this. Okay. And I happened to listen and saw such fabulous, immediate, positive impact. So that was my body demanding, right? So our body is smart, and sometimes it demands certain things, and we just got to listen in and understand its cues and not dismiss it. Another example of how sometimes our body makes what we need because it's naturally smart, right? So during my eczema healing journey, again, I was sick. I was in the thick of it. And oftentimes I didn't know if I was going to make it. I didn't know if I was going to survive this journey. And on another note, I said, God, if I survive this journey, I'm going to share these insights with others so their journey can be smoother, less painful, more brightening, more enlightening. They can move and maneuver through quicker, with less stress, less pain, more confidence. And so this is also what pollination is about, Pollination Apothecary, in a form of the way that I connect in with philanthropy. But anyhow, back to how our body is smart, and it sometimes will make what we need. For example, I was sick. I noticed that during releasing stages, like, some ways our body not to release is urination, defecation. So during those moments, I was like, dang, why do I smell weed? Why do I smell marijuana? Now, I don't do weed or marijuana, and I don't care whoever does it or doesn't. But I'm just saying, I was like, wow, what is happening? Where it's like intense weed, intense marijuana smelling as I'm, in the bathroom doing these releasing moments. I mean, for real. And I was like, ooh, what is going on? Is somebody in here smoking weed? Nah, I'm in here by myself. Anyhow, this is when I realized, like, my body was helping me to live through this scenario of this eczema and everything, whatever else it was, right? And possibly leprosy and other things. And there's also not only, physical leprosy, but spiritual sometimes, right? But anyhow, and I was like, what? Weed? What? And my body was naturally making various cannabinoids, cannabinoids, which is part of what's in like marijuana and hemp and, flower and different things. It was naturally making these compounds and boosting the production of these compounds because I needed it for survival and to live through what was happening. And so that was my body making what it needed, right? Yeah, y'all. That was deep when that was happening. That was deep. Okay, and I was like, whoa. To the point where I'm like, is somebody in the bathroom with me smoking weed, puff it all over me? But no, it was my body making what it needed. So not only is our body smart, but it will demand what it needs. We kind of just clue in and listen in, and sometimes it will make what it needs naturally boost the production of different compounds and chemicals naturally in our body, right? And then sometimes with the body being so smart, it will pause, it will signal stop what you're doing. And I have a story for that. So, okay, so it was this fish I really liked. At one point, before my eczema healing journey, I was really pescatarian, right? And I had to pause that because I thought, oh, wow, is there something in the marine life in our country or in other countries that it has a certain level of toxicity that is not impacting my body in a good way? So I paused pescatarian because that was a possibility of different toxins from marine life or elevated mercuries. Didn't know. Pause that. I started to pause many aspects that possibly could be, right? And so I paused that, and I haven't gone back to my pescatarian lifestyle just because my body is not signaling that that's going to be good for me. And I've tried in different ways. But anyhow, I was buying this fish from one of my favorite places. I won't tell you the grocery store because I have many good favorite grocery stores, okay? And it was a bought fish. It was like, was it tilapia? It was lightly breaded, right? Because I can't have a lot of gluten, right? It was slightly breaded with like a panko, right? Not that like weird kind of breading, but a nice quality breading, very thin. And I love to put this little fish into my air fryer. That was my new thing I started using last year in 2023. And the crunch was amazing. Well, for a long time, my body was like, no, pause. That's not for you, right? And I was like, wow, okay, why am I pausing on having this, fish? That's my thing. Incorporating more fish, I wouldn't have to have as much meat and could incorporate vegetables and then do more things on the go as this entrepreneur. Well, I recently started trying to incorporate it again after pausing for so many months. And again, I was going to put it in my little air fryer. And then I started to realize that, it was actually creating irritation in my body, like itchy skin, itchy scalp, irritation throughout my whole body. And a lot of times people talk about eczema and they talk about just the body, the skin, but it also is damaging for the hair, right, and the scalp. It affects you in a systematic way. And this natural irritation I was carrying around, I was like, wait a minute, I didn't start naturally. What have I been doing differently? It was the fish. So I eliminated it and boom, real good, right? And so now I'm saying, it must be something going on with the marine life within the world, within the U.S., wherever this is, sourced from. But then also it's probably that and the interaction with my air fryer, y'all. So I've been pausing using my air fryer, and of course I had to pause on that fish, even though I love that crunch so much. But yeah, so sometimes our body is so smart, right? We just gotta listen to it, and sometimes it's saying pause. It's a temporary pause. It's a temporary stop, right? And sometimes it's an indefinite stop. And we gotta really tap in and understand its cues. Okay, so it will demand certain things, it will make certain things, and it will stop certain things temporarily or indefinitely. those are some ways how our body is super smart, and we just need to tap in. We're going to be talking about more, or at least I'm going to be talking about more about understanding our body, how to really reset and tap into and understand its cues. And we have like 5 different ways. And so stay tuned for next week, part 2 on our body is smart. We just need to, reset and really tap into it. So we're going to talk about ways to really tap into it and understand its cues, because I think that's where some of the confusion lies. That's where this journey is, this hunt. It's so painful. It's so long, and pollination seeks to reduce that hunt, reduce that challenge, reduce that weariness, reduce that uncertainty, and with our sensitive focus, eczema friendly hair care, skin care, and organic herbal teas, in addition to the knowledge and insights that we're putting out, just hoping and not helping others understand, the 1, 2, 3s of being sensitive, the 1, 2, 3s of, managing through any kind of dis-ease, right? Be it eczema, psoriasis, acne, postpartum, cancer, autoimmune challenges, right? Anything where you're not feeling and looking your best. Okay, y'all. So tap into it. Check out our hair and skincare and organic herbal teas at pollination.com. Some items you probably be interested in that relates deeply to this topic is our conditioning shampoo, our gut support tea. I got that cherries in it, and our flower power detox. Okay. All right, y'all. Have a great Sunday. And don't forget, message me. I'm going to go ahead and share this if technology doesn't fail on Instagram. And yeah, y'all. Okay. And make sure you're subscribed. Go to pollinationapothecary.com or pollination.com and subscribe to our newsletters. This way you're going to be getting more insights emailed to you. We don't bombard your email, so don't even worry about it, okay? We are a super lean team, and we don't have time to, overwhelm you with emails, okay? But happy Sunday, y'all. Bye.